Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am on day 7 of my 31 days of horror movie reviews. I am at the end of my Texas Chainsaw Massacre watching. This is the latest installment in the franchise, Texas Chainsaw 3D. It's a horror film that came out in 2013. It was directed by John Lucenhop. And the plot of this movie, the big selling point of this film, I remember when they were making it and they announced this news, and a lot of people lost their shit over the fact that this movie was disregarding the remakes. And it was going to take place directly after the events of the 1974 film, the original movie by Tobe Hooper. You see at the very beginning where the character Sally, she survived, she made it out, she told the cops about what happened. The sheriff goes to the Sawyer house and he demands Leatherface. He wants to take him in for his crimes. And the Sawyer family initially is holding strong. They don't want to give him up. And then people from the town just show up because I guess they know about the family as well. They come in and they don't want to negotiate. They just open fire. And they burn the house down. They kill every last remaining Sawyer family member, or so they think. There's an infant baby that's there, survives, and 2 of the people take the baby, raise it as their own. 39 years later, this baby grows up to be Alexandra Daddario, the hottest 39-year-old I think I've ever seen, by the way. And she finds out about a grandmother she never knew before. She dies, and she leaves Alexandria Daddario a house. And her boyfriend, Trey Songs, and her friends, they drive across to Texas to see this house, to have fun, until they find out the hard way that there is one surviving member of the family, Leatherface. It does not go well for them. Now, what I think of the Texas Chainsaw 3D is... Look, when I first saw this movie in the theater, I hated the fuck out of it. I did. I hated it with so much passion. Now, rewatching it, it's still bad. I still don't like it. But I don't, for some reason, hate it as much as I did. I think it's rewatching all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, marathoning them. I dislike the original second movie, the one from '86, and the fourth movie with Matthew McConaughey. I dislike those 2 movies so much more that this one, it's still bad, but it's like not as bad as those. But it's still bad. Let's go through this. The fact that they took this movie to the original story, the events after the first film. I'm somebody who, I saw the remake first from 2003, so I connect to that one more. I think of that one more. But I appreciate, I can understand that there are a lot of people who grew up with that 74 film, who they think of that movie when they think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I get it. And I'm sure they loved it when they heard the news of what this movie was doing. But I can only imagine their reaction when they saw the whole original family get killed and wiped out for good. It was almost like a big fuck you to those fans. That's what the studio was almost saying, especially when you find out, because you wouldn't have really known unless you looked this shit up or if you were paying attention before the movie came out and saw the announcements. Bill Moseley plays Drayton Sawyer. Bill Moseley played Chop Top in the original second Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. So they brought him in to play the character that Jim Cito played in the first film, but that actor died. Gunnar Hansen, who played the original Leatherface, they brought him back. They brought the actor who played Grandpa Sawyer in the original movie, they brought him back to play this character. And they even brought back Marilyn Burns, who played Sally in the original movie. They brought her to play who would eventually be the grandma for Alexandra Daddario. They brought her in. They brought all of these people in just for what? For a couple of minutes to kill them off Wow. Strike one. Strike one. But let's talk about Alexandra Daddario, who plays Heather. Now, Alexandra Daddario, I like her. Like, as an actress, she's fine. I think I've seen her be a lot better in later things. So, but she's fine in this movie. And she's also hot as fuck. So there's that. But I even find her character's story a little interesting. A little interesting. The fact that she was adopted, her adopted parents are kind of assholes to her, and she finds out about this family that she really belongs to. So she's interested. She wants to know about them. So obviously she's going to go there, see the house that's now hers. But the fact that this movie, since it's connected to the 74 film, and since those events at the beginning of the movie was right after that time, 39 years later, present day, and she's only whatever age Alexandra Daddario is, like 20-something, because she's definitely not even close to 30, never mind 40. What the fuck were they thinking? Why did they cast somebody this young to try to connect this story? Why couldn't we cast an actual 40-year-old actress? Imagine that, a horror movie with a 30 or 40-year-old woman. Holy fuck, that's unheard of. But even if you wanted to go this young and wanted to have somebody like her because she's hot or whatever, you could have said it in 1993. That would have matched up timeline-wise. But you can't do that, or this isn't the case, because she looks at the grave tombstone of her grandmother and it has the current date. Or how about the part where the cop goes into the house with his cell phone, recording the video and showing it to the cops live as he's doing so it's obviously present day with present technology. There's like present rap music on during a scene. It's like, fuck. You guys didn't even try to match continuity. This is a mistake. This is a huge mistake, by the way, because this is something that I would have made in high school. This is a mistake you would make in high school, where your teacher would have to come to you and say, look, you can't do that because of continuity errors, and you have to fix this, and you have to explain that. But no, this director didn't give a fuck, or this writer, or even if it was these producers who were putting money into this movie. Nobody fucking watched this movie and thought, this doesn't make any fucking sense. How is she this age? Or how is it during today's time? Fix this shit. Give a fuck about your movie. Give a fuck about your audience. But let's talk about her boyfriend, Trey Songz. Trey Songz plays her boyfriend. And look, I like the idea of this hot white chick dating a black dude. Like, fuck yeah, why not? That's how I was created. Interracial dating. It's the coolest thing. But Trey Songz, horrible actor, he is. And he has a side plot going on where he's cheating on Alexandra Daddario with her best friend, Nikki, played by Tania Raymond, who, like, at first seems like the nicest girl, like she's all best friends with Alexandra, but then you see that she's not only is she sleeping with her boyfriend, but she's doing it like literally right behind her back. Like as soon as she leaves the room, this girl is all over the boyfriend. Mind you, she has a date that came along with them that drove all of them to Texas, but he's just a non-factor. All of this is a non-factor. Even that side plot is a non-factor because Alexandra Daddario never even finds out that he's cheating on her, never even finds out that her best friend fucked her over. It's literally just there to waste time or just to be something for those characters to do, because otherwise they wouldn't have anything else to do. Let's talk about this random hitchhiker character, Daryl, that they pick up on the side of the road. And I guess they just had to have a hitchhiker here. I think that's the only reason why he's here, because once they get to the house, they don't know the fucker at all. They knew him for maybe a couple of hours. They leave him out the house so that they can go to the store to buy shit. And then they get surprised that he stole a bunch of stuff. I mean, luckily Leatherface eventually showed up and killed the fucker. But they think he laughed. But still, that's your own dumbass fault for trusting a random fucking dude at your house. These characters are idiots. Dan Yeager, who plays Leatherface. Now, I don't have a problem with this actor or even how he plays Leatherface. At least they made Leatherface somewhat menacing, somewhat scary, at least just in his demeanor. They played him serious. He wasn't cross-dressing, or he wasn't acting like a flat-out pussy in this movie, so I can give them that. As far as the kills go, the kills are severely weak, severely underwhelming. You have one decent kill with the chainsaw where somebody's hanging up and Leatherface cuts them in half. That's cool, that's bloody, but like every other death is fucking lame. It really is. Trey Songz, you want to know how he dies? Spoiler alert! Who gives a fuck? They're trying to drive away, they crash into the gate, it doesn't break, and then they try to drive. They crash the van, and when Alexander Daddario wakes up, she looks over and sees that he died in the car crash. So he doesn't even get killed by Leatherface. He doesn't even die in a bloody, gruesome way. He was cheating on her, so you would think he would give him like a really fucked up death. No. He just dies almost off screen, unmemorable at all. This other side plot of the sheriff, played by Tom Berry, the mayor of the town, Paul Ray as Bert Hartman. You have the side plot of, since the mayor was the one who killed the Sawyer family with his group of people, Leatherface wants revenge on them, and the sheriff wasn't for it. You get this whole issue with Alexander Daddario, who looks up these newspapers, and she finds out the true story about what happened with her family, how they were cannibals and how they were eating people. But then she found out that the town sort of covered up killing all of them. And she very soon, very easily, joins with Leatherface. And there's literally a moment in this movie where she tosses him the chainsaw and says, "Do your thing, cuz." I howled with laughter over the dumbness of just the writing, the performance, the awkwardness, the fact that this movie tries to portray Leatherface as a victim, as the good guy. I mean, look, I'm not saying that you couldn't have tried to do something like this in a more interesting way, but it's like we're just supposed to forget that this family eats people, that Leatherface cuts the skin off of people's faces and wears them, and brutally murders people. I mean, even if you want to disregard the cheating boyfriend and the fucked up best friend because, well, hey, Alexander Daddario didn't know about it, so technically to her, they're still her friends. And Leatherface brutally murdered them, and she's just okay with it because what? She found out that the town killed her family and covered it up. What about the fact that your family were murderers and cannibals and evil people, fucked up people? You're just okay with that now? You're just one of them now? The logic behind this is really what fucks this up. I'm ranting and raving about this movie. I didn't even mention that Scott Eastwood was in this. This movie, again, is bad. It's more badly written than anything else, but as I was watching it for the second time, I was able to watch it. I was able to sit here and sort of, it's a time waster, but when I really think about it, when I really like sit down and, for example, do a review, that's when all of the idiocracy comes out. That's when all of the just lunacy of this script, of this filmmaking, of everything really shows. It's bad, but it's not a steaming, stinking pile of shit. It's just bad.
That's some old bullshit.
So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Texas Chainsaw 3D? Do you agree with me to where it's bad, but it's not the worst? Or do you think it's the worst? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Please won't you save my desires on fire? Sometimes you need a little peace at home. I'm tired, but so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side, waiting for the perfect moment that I put it in ya.